Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to CWQ Productions, A Natural State of Mind. This is our disc golf podcast, and we are happy you are here listening to us. We've got two amazing guests to do. Myself, Christopher Wolford. We have two awesome guests from Cat Merch and James Lacey. Everybody knows those two names locally, without a doubt. Thank you guys so much for being on.
Locally and one of them nationally. I don't know if Cat's known nationally, but James is known.
I would say James.
Thanks for having us on, and thanks Parks and Recreation for letting us come in and do the setup here today for the show.
Absolutely. We're here at Parks and Recreation's disc golf store, and man, this place is killer. So
This place is killer. It's if you have all your disc golf needs, and it's very interesting because you don't see very many stores that are just straight disc golf.
no.
Oh yeah. So if you guys have never been in here, quite the spectacle, with all the plastic and the things that they have going on upstairs.
Absolutely.
We just took a short tour of what they have going on upstairs with the course that they're putting on the second floor, and it's going to be a spectacle, and it should be used. You guys should come out and check it out once it's up and running.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Good for putt and practice.
I haven't even been up there yet.
It's pretty
But,
gnarly.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
I
hear.
can see it.
I think I want to see the finished product. So, but yeah, I heard it's really cool, and everybody's really anticipating it.
Yeah, it's going to, people are just losing their minds because they want to get up there and play that indoor course. So,
Especially in this 95, 100-degree heat where you go out and 9 holes later, your shirt's soaked, and you're like, okay, this is fine. So,
if you make it to 9 holes without
right?
completely soaked, you feel like you just jumped in the Hyman Pond or something. So, cool thing with Parks and Recreation, too. Cat, they're your sponsors. So, your local sponsor.
What a
That's awesome.
coincidence we're here. They are. They've been a big sponsor of you, right?
They have. They've been with me since honestly the beginning. They saw it before anyone else did, and they picked me up quick. And I'm happy to be working with them for the time that I've been working with them. I hope it prolongs itself.
We see you wearing your hats and I think your shirts as well, right? You sport both those. You got a nice. They do a hat for you and a shirt, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of apparel. So,
All can be found online. We'll do our plug.
yeah, we'll throw the plug in there, the Parks and Recreation plug.
Yeah, I don't know what the .com is or where they go,
I
but
think it's parksandrecreation.com.
Parks and Recreation.
Could be wrong, but this is what we got.
That's what we're working with.
If you guys have a chance to see Cat, she'll be here tomorrow for a disc signing, and that'll be here at Parks and Recreation's. Cat, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically just show up, come meet me. I want to meet you. 6 to 8. Let's party. Let's have a good time.
Boom. That's what she's.
Yeah.
And refreshments will be here from what I understand, and should have a pretty good crowd. And if you guys want to meet Kat, maybe get a disc and buy one and support her on tour. It really helps her a lot.
Absolutely.
I should hire you to speak for me.
I saw your caddy. That should be kind of worked into the agreement.
Yeah, we're going to get into that conversation about the JBO caddy situation. I mean, what a great first win, for Pro Tour. That's awesome.
Was.
Let's segue into James real quick, and then we'll finish the rest of the episode off with Cat. So, James, we're talking. Man, you're a super well known
Local legend, I would say. I mean, I know the word's huge, but I mean, it's one of those. James is one of those names you hear that when I came here to play. Yeah, he's the standard.
I'm the old guy that hasn't really made everyone mad yet. So it's a blessing to be involved in the local arena with everybody, including you guys that help grow the sport in our area. So
you've done a lot. So not to make everyone mad, that's pretty impressive. Former Diamond State president.
Yeah, the Diamond State Disc Golf Association was created several years ago by really 3 guys. And one of them, Kenny Williams, God rest his soul, passed away years ago. Great guy. Love you, Kenny. Much love. And the other one was Doug Trantham, which a lot of people do remember him. He still plays every now and then, but he lives now in Northwest Arkansas and plays a lot less. But so it was us 3 that created it. And, it grew to where it was, and we passed the torch on to the next crew to keep on rocking.
That's got to do with these things. It's hard to, a shelf life of 4 or 5 years, kind of like a soccer manager. You just kind of get, what you get to do. But let's
you got to bring in new blood. You can burn yourself out real quick, especially with nonprofit work. It's
because he was TDing as well, right, James? You run in the states at that
time. president of the Diamond State Disc Golf Association. I would never ever say I did everything by myself at all. I always had a team around me that was smart and dedicated and wanted to help grow the sport, and were very passionate about it. And that team array, has so many names. I'm not even going to go into it. There's so many names of the team, people that we've had throughout the years that helped grow it to where it is today, and excited to see where everybody takes it.
Yeah, man. My first one of my first rounds was with you. We've known each other for years because you and my older brother worked together, and back in 1999, man, we were playing on Burns, and you'd been playing for a while, and I was just kind of getting started. It's like, damn, this guy throws far.
Oh, well,
figure this out.
far back then was not far like it is today.
That's right.
It's not age question.
I would like to go back and witness that again.
Yeah,
Just out of
you know.
curiosity.
I still had some of those discs from back then. That's for sure.
Make some money. So I looked up, James. You know when your first rated round was that PDGA has logged for it?
Probably
August 11, 2007.
2007.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was I wrote hers tournament down, but I didn't write yours down. But
Yeah, no, that's fine. No,
that's what I went back. I was fun looking back at some of the stuff. I mean, you're a 954, 56 rating.
957.
Whatever. Get you that extra point. You do. Man, I'm gonna tell you, every point you get when it comes to ratings, it's not the easiest thing to get sometimes.
It's funny, Kat and I were talking about it on the way over here, how many tournaments that I've played, and just the PDGA tournament that be on there is not barely any, because several years before that, I was playing the Southern Nationals tournaments, and there's no written record there on I guarantee there's 60 probably that I played in a period of 2 or 3 years. But needless to say, yeah, man, I've been gung ho the whole time, and just like Kat has, with when she caught the passion for it, and I was fortunate enough to be caddy for Jonesboro, and that really hit a good soft spot in my heart, because I remember putting a box of discs in front of her when she was in high school. Said, "Hey, you're going to be a world champion someday."
That's actually both of you guys are sponsored by Innova. And that's killer. Cat and both of you guys actually, James and Cat. So was Innova always the first company y'all wanted to go with?
Yes. But or disc maybe, because at the time, when I was getting into it, it was Paul McDuff was sponsored by Innova, and he was the best player in the world. So of course I wanted to be sponsored by Innova. We got Paul. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
I watched him on YouTube all the time in class. Everybody. I watched everybody
Wow,
on YouTube.
that's neat. That's pretty neat.
It's weird.
Yes.
It's really weird.
And you're of age now, but you're ours for like.
Yeah, we're probably going to go out and have a beer.
Yeah, I'm also sponsored by Innova. I don't know if you know that I'm on their shit show team.
Yeah.
And so I only throw Innova for some dumb reason. So, but they don't know they have that team, but I'm on. So, hey.
We appreciate all the dedicated Innova.
Innova was really Innova and Discraft were out when I started, and just something about Innova, and I don't know why I didn't want to learn all the plastics, especially now with everybody's got so many different plastics and stuff. Innova's definitely they don't go that route. I don't feel like They just don't necessarily come out with a lot of new.
They keep it simple.
They do. They
definitely keep it easy to figure it out.
maybe the new Rolo disc.
Oh, that's not bad thing.
So, what was your first name of the school?
It would have to be that I remember would have to be a Cobra. I mean, I remember DX Cobra and Birdie, and I had a Barry Schultz Beast, and that was the only name I'd ever really known was Barry Schultz.
This guy must be great.
This guy's got something. He's got to be in there.
Get better, man.
Yeah, I saw him. He was throwing again. I was happy to see that. I never heard of King. We called him King Climax. We never called him King Climax. And I never even heard of him. I heard of Scott Stokely. He was the only other name for some reason there in Austin. His name floated around, but and meeting him at JBO was a cool deal. But he's so tall.
So tall, man.
No idea that. But he was the ideal build when I was started. super long, lanky players. That was and it seems to still be the same way now. So.
Kat, what was your first with this? Do you remember?
Like the one that I liked or the one that was good?
We'll go with the one that you like and remember.
It was the one Wizard Boss.
Yeah.
But I remember having this White Star Max too. That was
Ooh, yeah. BC disc there.
ridiculous.
Remember when Kat started? She was forehand beast.
I read that today. I did a lot of reading on her, and yeah, I knew just forehand, huh?
Yep.
Did you play ultimate or anything, or?
Softball, but I didn't play softball. I tried to, you know what I mean? And when I first started throwing the softball, it was like a baseball sidearm pitch until they taught me how to throw it overhand. And I guess I kind of just configured. I used to have a really, really good sidearm, and then I injured one of my muscles in my rotator cuff, and it's just been junk ever since. But it's getting better.
All you gotta have is a serviceable one, right? I mean, I would think so. I mean,
It's definitely
within
365.
Well, I'm sorry. What would you say? 1, 2, 365.
That's what they made fun of me for you. That's what I do. Is I 1, 2 step and I throw 365.
That sounds like mine.
It's better.
You're on my level one.
Better 1, 2, 265. That's my life, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, go ahead. So how it had to be a great feeling being there with her during JBO. I mean, we all saw the celebration.
Yeah.
It was very, very.
Still celebrating.
Yeah.
And I would be, for sure.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I know for Kat, like we talked about it the day before, and it wasn't set in stone that I was going to end up caddying for her. You know, we had somebody else, and Annie Bent.
Okay.
You know, Annie LeBou. Annie LeBou. Sorry. Yeah. Well, she's been going through some things. She was able to be there, and so we wanted to have Annie on the bag and support Kat for that moment. But so I got the first round, and Annie was supposed to come in and take rounds 2 and 3. And at the same time, I'm caddying for Luke as well that weekend. You know, so I'm double Annie. Luke Humphreys' child. A lot of walking, but you know, I try to help my friends. They do a hell of a lot more walking than me. You know, on what they do for a living. I sit at a desk all day, so it's worth it for me to get out there and watch some awesome golf. But we didn't think I was going to be the one caddying. She had such a great first round. You know, we talked at the end, and I was like, what do you think?
That's right. You never break that up. Right?
Well, and you know her game so well, right? You guys have been playing so long together.
So do you? I knew when I caddied for John a little small time, I never would tell him what. I was there more to try to break up his concentration if I felt like he was overthinking and so on and so forth. Did you pick this? Say no, Kat. Why are you picking that one up?
No, he's just kind of like let me do my thing. He advised, but most of the time it's pretty fair decisions. I think.
I mean, fair enough to win, right? So, but yeah, no, you.
She threw all the shots. I basically was there for fart jokes.
So good. I mean, I think.
We got a good flow and good mojo. We're buddies, so
Right.
you know we can speak to the heart, speak to it quick, and get it, not be offended. You know, if we got to say.
Versus when you go, you ask for caddies.
It kind of depends on how I'm feeling that week.
Okay.
That's kind of what I want.
Okay, that's your little moment or how you figure it out. Yeah, because then if you don't know the person, it's obviously a different
It's
dynamic.
different, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've had some weird caddies before. I've never really been around people, so I don't know how to pinch them out of a crowd. But this one dude stumbled up to me like my first year on tour in DDO, and he was like, "You want me to carry your bag for the rest of the time?" And I was sweating and dying out there, so I said, "Yeah." And it was the worst 3 holes of my life. I had to text Nico, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you gotta get my bag and get this dude away from me because I don't like his vibe anymore." I made a bad decision. You gotta come. He came, shoot the guy off. It was great.
The guy from Happy Gilmore.
You definitely don't want to be the buffoon, right? And really hard on not being that guy for her. We didn't really have any disagreements at all except for one. I'll let Kat talk about that.
He didn't believe in me. We're lefty. I got a pretty solid lefty, I think, but this time I, just kind of shitted it up in the air. It went up, went behind the tree, I took a bogey on the hole.
So you use your left hand.
Yep.
That you typically don't do.
Yep.
Maybe flicked it.
Discussion about it. We talked about it earlier. She says, "Man, I've been throwing left-handed recently." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I think I want to throw it here on this hole." And I said, She said, "Yeah." I said, "Don't do that. You can throw a forehand, backhand, and turn it over because that's the best bet for us to get here and go on to the next hole." She said, "No, I think I'm going to go left-handed." I said, "God, please stop. Do I get a vote?" And she said, "Of course you get a vote, James. You're on the bag." And I said, "Throw a damn forehand." She said, "Okay." And then she got up and threw a left-handed.
That's pretty good.
I saw Deerhart and Perkins at the end, and they said, "What was up with the left-handed shot?" I said, "It was not
I think I had it.
Yeah, I still think you got it.
Watch him pull out.
The form looked great. Yeah.
I did that recently too. I threw left-handed with it. Everstate would just have it come flex back in. I said I would never try that in a round like a real. This was a.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad shot.
It was not a bad. I mean, but that set you up for failure, right? Because then I get to see me grip blocking it.
Because now you've got it in your head like this is what's going to happen. Because we're mere mortals. You have world-class disc golfers. You tell them,
It's pretty funny. That's what Where was that in the tournament?
It's like hole 8. It's like round 1 playing.
Round 1. So you guys, this was. So shit.
Yes.
It's late.
Yeah, it's the one where the basket's behind the
If
tree
you pull that
elevated.
par 5, you got that big tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys had the added bonus too of y'all working together out there, Cat playing, James caddying. You guys both know the course so well.
Yeah.
Mine is playing there for JBO. You guys have played there before several times. So
I've played there several times. Yeah, shout out to Jones Disc Golf and the guys that are out there putting that course together and keeping it mowed. Brad Pete's the tournament director. You guys are awesome. And these are folks that I've known for years in disc golf, and their contribution continues. So appreciate you guys.
They work real hard.
Yeah, I mean, running it just on a small level is not easy, and then I can only imagine that huge level that they run on. There's a lot of eyes on you, a lot of things because it's right there. So
we were having a really good conversation with Eli last week on the podcast about Jonesboro disc golf and just how like really it is kind of is like the mecca of Arkansas disc golf because of what it brings to the table with JBO. And
I mean, like I said last week, the DGPT finds it swell enough to go play there every year, and they don't go anywhere else in Arkansas. So I mean, it kind of is the.
There's a beautiful track, and well maintained, and well sponsored, so that the payout is fair and decent.
Speaking of events, I want to bring up yours coming up in the fall here in Little Rock. It's actually in North Little Rock. At Stone Links Disc Golf Course.
Sure, it's the Arkansas Open, sponsored by Subaru of Little Rock. We've been fortunate enough to have a partnership with them. Mark and his team at Subaru have been fantastic. They've given us $5,000 to sponsor towards the event. They aren't our only sponsor, though. They are our title sponsor. So if you guys go ahead and get signed up on Disc Golf Scene, you can go to the 501 page of the Diamond State Disc Golf Association page, and you'll see a link there where you can get registered for it. We're capped at 90. We had 5,000 initially added by Subaru, but through North Little Rock Parks Department and North Little Rock Tourism has come in and backed up another $3,000 there. So we've got $8,000 added. We're capping it at 90 people. So if you like money, a pro player, I'll get some at the Arkansas Open. It's going to be October 14th and 15th.
So it's a cool month. It's usually good.
We had it last year and it was super pleasant.
Yeah. I tell you what, spring didn't. It hit different though last year.
You're right about that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's still gonna be hot.
So
beginning of October.
Well, I
And
know
then start throwing down
I,
again, and then
I know it will be more, but they definitely have some money that will be in the. We have some money that will be in the tournament, and
mean, there's-
there should be Subaru cars out on the course, away so that you can see them. I mean, I do too, but I'll take the 5,000 and not press for a new car. But if you do buy a new car, make sure you get a Subaru because they support this. So,
My next purchase as far as the vehicle goes, probably.
Our buddy Gage Scott works there as well. He's
Yeah.
a service manager or something. He seems to be pretty high up there.
Kat, are you finished with the tour at that point? And would that be something you might play?
I think there's still stuff going on. I don't really know. I kind of take it when we
Sure.
like every 2 weeks. I know what's going on.
That's pretty awesome.
I think
mean,
I'll be playing.
that weekend, I think is the tour championship.
Tour championship aren't solid.
Yeah. That's right. She'll be there. Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know where it's at. You know, it could be at Nevin Hornacek. I don't know.
All that's up in the air. And
Yeah. So yeah, we don't touch that. What else? We got here. So, Kat, do you know when your first rated round was? Man, this was pretty interesting.
Get
For
some
some reason,
interesting
I think
stats.
it's either like 2016.
You're close. Yeah. 2017 at the C9 Twin City Blowout in Louisiana.
I remember that.
Shot a 786 rated round.
Oh.
Where in Louisiana?
I think somewhere like that.
Okay.
I mean, but how old? I mean, but you gotta think, right? We're talking 6 years. You're 15 years old. Going out there playing, I think it was a FA1. Yeah, well, maybe it wasn't. But
I remember I think it got like second or third.
Yep.
And I was stoked. I was like, I'm on my way up.
did you? I mean, when is there like a point where you're like, man, this is going to be something that really, just not a fad or a flash in the pan for you?
Man, Jeff Spencer told me that there's a tour, and I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, there's a tour. So I started like YouTubing it. I was watching it. I was like, yeah, this is it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Take them all down. Me.
And man, here you are 6 years later doing just that. Really, I mean, I got you with 23 career wins, $59,000 in career earnings. That's a rounded up. It was like 58,767 or something like that. JBO and Cascade, which the Cascade Open trophy looks amazing.
It's gnarly. It's useful too. It's gonna be useful.
I saw it's like, man, one more person to win that trophy. That show's getting for too long. It's not hanging up in your van or anything like that. Ooh.
No.
For that one.
2020 Rookie of the Year. I do remember that.
I remember that.
Good.
It was. I remember that's when I really first started learning. That's when I really first started learning about disc golf and the pro end of it. And Duncan, our buddy Duncan's like, yeah, I beat a world champ one time. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah. One world championship, I think, and that was it. I forget.
Yeah, it was like one of the skill challenges or whatever. One of those little side challenges.
And I didn't know any different. He's like, yeah, I beat her. And I was like, oh, okay. I was thinking, man, who'd you take down? But so that's that. And what else I got? Your first tour appearance with JBO is what this says. I was doing some reading in
I
2019.
disagree. I think my first appearance was Silver Cup. I came out there and I got a lead card for the second day, and then I shouled the first shot.
You what? What's that word? Shouled.
Yeah, I threw it in shouled.
Okay. Shouled. All right.
It's a good stats.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of time at work, so I do know her mom, Tracy, who was a good thrower in her own self.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Strong legs.
strong, threw well every time. Every time I was around her and playing with back then Summer and her and all them, and your brother Wedge, who I haven't seen in forever, got you into the sport.
Brad Roy.
Oh, B Rad, I love B Rad.
Sleeping on my dad's couch, and he played. He's like, we need to go up on the Bishop because it wasn't at tracks at the time. It was still Bishop Park.
9-hole or out there, yeah.
Went out there and we just kind of like kept down and
Nice. That's where I met Brad at. Was at tracks or Moorheart, one or the other. But yeah, it's
one of those.
Boom. I think that's it. That's all I got. You have a cat named Mr. Leahy.
Yep.
I'm assuming off of yeah. I know the show a little bit. I believe you don't watch that, but it's it's funny. He's a drunk. He's a pretty funny guy. And
You gotta pick out those drunk caddy for you.
yeah, if he's like Mr. Leahy walking up to you, just know and just leave it. And what's your dog's name? I can't find it. Bubbles.
I got to meet Bubbles at the Rock Games.
Yeah, she got a lot bigger.
Bubs is a terrorist.
She's talking about this man.
Bubs is a terrorist.
I thought I was a dog person. I guess she's not a dog.
Person until they tear.
She chewed it up. She ate Nico's notebook, underwear. I mean, anything. She tears it all up, and then she'll,
Yeah.
you're back. Look at what I did.
And shoot up any disc, any partial, like, yeah. Paper's fine.
So you gonna get to continue on for the rest of the tour?
That's
Okay.
Nico's dog.
I saw where
I've seen pictures where they're
saw on Instagram where you came to dad or something like that one time. I do love your Instagram. If you don't follow Kat, you should.
I'll make the best content.
I think so. I think it's pretty good. I think it's different. It's funny. It's fun. It's not like all serious, and it is just like you are.
Oh,
Every now and then.
like PG-13 rated.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Like, and PG-13 now is a lot different than my PG-13. That's for sure.
You know, 13 was pretty raunchy.
I think we talked about that, but yeah.
Had that conversation.
I got you sponsored by here, Brooks and Recruit Squadron.
Squad, dude.
Squad.
Golf bags that are really good. Easy on my back because I've got some low back issues. So
Oh, that's
when I
good to know.
switched,
So,
when I switched over to the Swatch bag, the weight was just a lot better on my back.
Okay.
They're really supportive. They're really supportive of the SPO, and I'm happy with my sponsor.
How much you think your bag weighs? Did you weigh your bag like they all did that one day?
You know, there was a number out there, but I forgot.
It's got to be 25, 30 pounds.
I think I said like the average was around 25, 26 for most.
We'll let the Jonesboro Open. It felt like 285 pounds. The weight was on my. No, I'm just. No, it's a good bag. It's a solid bag. Yeah.
The Swatch bag. I got the Heimberg.
It's nice. Isn't it?
They're nice.
It's a little cooler.
No, I don't. It holds my. Is it?
Yes.
Right.
Put like pickles or something in there.
Okay.
Really walk around, pickles, ice. You can throw bags of ice.
Those are your go-to.
Yeah.
Get that pickle brine in there.
Oh yeah.
Pickle juice, pickles are where it's at. I
I
like
like pickles a lot, dude.
it.
What's your favorite brand of pickle?
Dude, I forgot what they are, but they're
The last.
like you know those expensive ones at Walmart that are in the square.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones.
I forget the name of them
I
because
forget the name.
The bougie spicy.
I had-
spicy pickles or like.
They're in a big box.
I had to buy some for a band one time and I'd never heard of them. And I was like, oh, these are pretty high-end pickles. So
Go with Clausen all day.
love a good Clausen.
Clausen pickle.
Yeah. She's ranked 10th in the U.S. Tour rankings. Not sure. That's what it had on here.
I know you're still on the top 10 in the foundation power rankings that they do.
I just feel, I don't know what they're based off of, but man, I just feel like I always see your name in the top 10. I mean, it's usually in the top 10 every week. Like, I pick you on my Skip Ace team sometimes, so it helps out.
Picked you several times in Skip Ace as well.
Trashing you in that, though.
No, I killed it.
I put her in the grip 6. We're not talking about the.
No, Skip Ace is a fantasy type league.
It's like
And so you get 6,000 points. You get 6,000 points and you pick them by their rating. So I always pick Calvin and Isaac. They're your top two money, or your top two finishers typically most of the time.
Right.
And so first place gets 250, then it goes down, and then there's a certain point where it goes to zero, then you get up there. So but it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I mean, just like every other. Yeah.
It is a lot. We have a 501 league going on, so I'm trying to beat Wolf. Like I said, he's whipping.
Nice.
So, Kat, what did you? This was a question from a friend of mine. It's a great question because this year you just take it off. Congratulations, by the way. You deserve it. Playing so well. You know, what did you do different in the off season that helped you find so much success this year?
Nothing. I didn't do anything. I think it's just obviously showing up and giving my heart to everything. I think what I did to win Jonesboro though was I started a Champions Cup. I started practicing again and started getting in a different mindset. So I guess I just mentally trained myself a bit better. If I did anything, I just tried to get a hold of my head because that's the wildest place to be.
It's the wildest place for any disc golfer, low end like me. I can only imagine how I am for like you. I mean, yeah. I mean, God, especially when you know stuff's on the line. But I mean, you're throwing backhanded, left-handed shots, so whatever. I mean, it can't be just too much.
You definitely got more comfortable on too.
Like, I mean, I communicate with that. You know, when she's on tour, text message, I try to stay in touch with her before rounds. You know, she's going to get a shred text from James just about every time. And I noticed the difference, you know, and it was a maturity level and understanding and a little more focus on, and a little more goal oriented, even though you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
So, and so it's fast. It was like, hey, I'm getting out of the world. I'm just figuring myself out,
Right.
figuring things out. Blowing and going, bro.
You obviously have a good sense of spirituality about you, mindfulness, open-mindedness. Obviously, you seem to maybe be a bit of a meditator. You know,
I try.
Yeah.
You know, I really try. It's funny because people think I'm, you know, like you said, spiritual. I am, but if you spent any time around me, I mean, you would quickly realize that I probably need to be institutionalized.
I tell people my calling. I should have
Keep private control during all that.
So this goes to show, your state of mind right now and how strong you've gotten that. Like you're out there saying that you should be institutionalized and killing it on the tour. So.
I think
all
it's
jokes.
another thing. You don't have to take it so seriously. You can see a lot of people out there that press and do take it very, very seriously. And your cat, you have fun out there, whether you're winning or you're losing. It seems to be the same person.
That's a really.
I just like to play. I mean, I really love the game. I have to tell you, it's just that I really enjoy what I do. Sometimes I do forget. I forget why I'm here, and I forget that I actually enjoy playing stuff. But at the root of it, I'm just trying to have fun. And sometimes you can win having fun too.
You really can. You don't have to be like, when somebody asked that question, our buddy did, I was like, I know what she's going to say. She didn't do anything, right? Because that's her mentality. And she just stuck with the same old routine she does, and it's just working for you this year. I mean, yeah, it really is.
Answer. I don't
Right.
want to hear anything otherwise. You got anything else?
Man, I did have, this. Is this your breakout year, would you say? Or
I don't even think that year started, to be honest.
I'm glad. I thought so too. So
I mean, this is just a little taste of the glory. You know what I mean?
because right now, obviously, you know who this band is.
Yeah.
Feel like
She's done. She's doing what she needs to do. This is her time. But when it's my time, it's gonna be my time too.
you're only 21. I mean, that's so young for even anything.
I think she just turned 30.
I was gonna say she'd be like 20.
What's crazy is she started disc golf. I think I could be wrong, but I think she started disc golf when she was 22. So she's got like 2.5 years on as a player, and that within itself kind of like motivates me, and it helps me know that I can be up there too consistently.
Right.
You know, she sets a really good example for all the FPO. You know, and I think for just players in general.
Consistency is a key, right? Like at one point, I knew she I haven't made, and we should finish the podium,
Yeah.
and that's it's winning one and then being fifth the next week. So,
It's wicked.
it needs to be a very good thing. Touring can be easy. Because I think you're up to the home.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about that one day. I was just like, man, imagine being a 20-year-old girl just out driving cross country, right?
It's intimidating. Sometimes. He's not around. I'm on the full awareness.
That's good.
It's a nasty world out there. I hope someone wanted me to like be in a back of the van and try and sell me. I know that they could just easily do that. So I have to stay fully. Sometimes meets my around.
Especially where you're, I mean, if you don't go to, assuming you go to campsites and you're normally with the rest of the players, but sometimes you probably have to go to Walmart or
Yeah.
rest stop.
Sometimes.
It's where
I think it's a bit more scary, like just driving by yourself. Once you get to the place, like you have resources around, like hey, you just spot about 5 minutes from the course. To just like
Where you could just jump out the that's
dude. Come with that axe gonna help you. A lot on you or something.
like go with this.
yeah. It's wicked out there.
Right. Well, you answered one of my questions.
It's scary.
So, is it hard to be? Is it? To me, the tour seems a very like a lot of the players have money beyond just golf, and that it takes money to travel. It's not cheap, right? And some
It's not cheap. I don't know about all the players
Right.
financially.
right. No, I'm not. Right. But
some of them do come.
it helps, right? I mean, getting on the tour and maintaining, because I mean, it's got to be your nutrition. Yeah, I mean, your vehicle and your gas and all that stuff is not. I mean, it's not very
And then
cheap.
the little like, oh, a tire popped down the middle of the highway. I gotta do something about that. Like, there's just little things that go on. There.
Right.
It's always going to be some minor thing that can turn into such a big thing.
You can tour, and you can tour if you do it right. If you do it minimalist, I toured off like $800 a month the first year. Yeah, I'm at work.
What were you driving?
2007 Dodge Sprinter.
See, that's even more.
That's the blue one.
Sounds like a.
That's a blue one.
Stand up in it, man.
Shag carpet.
Yeah.
Smells like shame.
Did you say shame or shame?
I think it had no cruise control, so I put in every little.
I love the words.
I think it's when I started throwing too, is because I had that extra like.
Oh, yeah.
muscle. Yeah, that was wicked time. That thing could probably drive through bricks.
And now you're in a different van, obviously, and the merch mobile, the merchandise, and you seem to go out to all the what they call fly marks or whatever
I
they
try to.
You seem to.
Sometimes I go to the fly marks and they're just dead. It's like nobody wants to come out anymore, but I don't really know.
I don't get,
Sometimes like the last fly mark, there's a fly mark preserve, and it was like an hour away from the course.
Oh, wow.
It just doesn't. It had a decent turnout, but I only sold like 2
That's a long day. You know what I mean? It's a long day for a player that has to do that.
You guys were all camping at the preserve, right?
Yeah.
So where was the town? Just an hour away? Is that?
the place where they were vending. There's a little town. Clearwater has like a little town with a gas station, and it's got a gas station and a grocery store. I actually like Clearwater. Yeah, it's cool.
I've never been there, but I'm a Blue Ribbon Vines boy myself.
Okay.
Shout out to Ray Jordan, my guy. You guys have never been up there, but Bethel, Minnesota, Blue Ribbon is good jam.
Man,
If you don't know about it, if anybody from Minnesota is listening, if you don't know, just ask Angie. They'll know what I'm talking about.
I'm definitely out for a road trip.
We are.
During Arkansas summers.
So that's I'm glad you said that. So in a 4-hour radius, what course do we need to go play? That gets you Dallas. That gets you kind of almost Kansas City. Like, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get. Like,
If we're gonna do 6, we gotta talk about Harmony Dens. So
That's
5 hours and 36 minutes away
God,
for Rosebud right now.
an easy drive.
Yeah. Easy. It's just a little day drive.
Up in Columbia.
Harmony Bends. Right?
And that's Mid America. Is that and that's your next one?
That is my next one.
And so that's up there high on your list of courses, I would imagine.
I love Harmony Bends. You know,
What
the course has an interesting.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, but the land was actually free because it floods so much. So I think it's great that they're having it this time of the year.
The course is amazing.
It's so
Yeah, I get to play. But that's definitely on my list.
take
of
some
travel.
water.
All right.
Take some water and just like wear some shorts. That's about all you
Okay,
need.
all right.
Bug spray.
Shorts only, right?
Shorts only. It's too hot. You're just
So that yeah, that's always been on my bucket list. I will get up there one day. That's my kind of course too.
Yeah.
I'm a noodle arm. You know, you can outdrive me, Jim. So I'm tired. That's what you're talking about.
You'll be an
You're
MP
saying
next year.
365. 65. But so that's that course is it's wooded, and I guess there's a good mix there. What I've seen on coverage, it looks like the elevation changes.
Mhm.
So is that when you're talking about your favorite kind of course? Because there's so much talk now on the Pro Tour about what does the Pro Tour need to have for courses? Open or wooded or mixed.
That's a good question.
I feel like the long courses that we played, they just kind of keep getting longer, and it's not fun anymore. It's not fun to throw the shot after shot after shot.
With a
And they
drive.
do this. It's not about the course. It's about the venue. How many people can we hold in this venue? So
You're right. That has been the main topic that they're really looking at is the
Yeah.
spectators.
Spectators and reception, right?
and the courses that the people on tour want to play, I think the majority of them are shorter, more technical, more wooded, like skilled. Because there's so many kids out here that can go 600 feet. I mean, did you see the distances on the juniors?
It's
It's 700 feet. That's ridiculous.
Part of Aaron's is like what, 50,
Yeah.
throwing like 700.
You put them in a wooden course, though, we're going to see who's like mentally well adapted to the course.
Yeah.
You'll see unlikely players win.
There you go. Yeah. So Cascade Challenge. That was a beautiful.
Oh, so
And
It looked amazing
obviously
up there.
you took that down.
Yeah.
So
It
you
was not
obviously had the
planned.
shot. It was not planned. Well, I remember you were talking about like you want to have a practice round.
I have one practice round. I tried to go out there Wednesday, but this is like the week before. Right? Some girls are different, but for me personally, the week before my period,
It's the worst. Yeah.
I'm a different person. So I threw one shot. I hit a tree. I got pissed, and I was like, I just can't do it. I went into my RV. I went to Nico to finish all that. It's my day to chill. The next day, I went and I played around by myself. And I was like, this is actually a really enjoyable course. I'm really glad there's a course that I enjoy. So I thought since I enjoyed it so much, I might just go ahead and play and somehow persevere through the end.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's something guys don't have to deal with. Is obviously unless the wife at home and they do have to deal with it. But yeah, it's not something we have to deal with that we don't understand. That we don't go through. That's got to be tough. I have two girls. I've been around women your whole life, and the week before is the worst, right? Bloating, cramping, hungry, and not the best mood.
And it's not like we're trying to intentionally
No.
snap and lash out.
Not at all.
It's literally our hormones just going crazy.
Yeah, and guys don't have to deal with that. So that blows me away. What an awful stat it was.
Unless you're there. It's that one stat.
Said I've won.
I was just about to say. I was trying to wonder what the stat is. Wonder what the stat is of women winning on their period versus not. I mean, that's because
If Stat Mando's listening.
Some grit. There's some grit, You're like, oh. And then when it's hot outside and
Oh,
everything
yeah,
just
the
kind of
elements.
feels like mud down there, like hot mud. It's not good.
can't be. I
It's
mean,
not good.
the bloating would be the worst. I would think. Ugh.
Oh man, I love this.
Things we talk about.
It's legit though. Like it's
Yeah, man, I love
real
it.
thing.
Got the real cat right here.
Yeah.
The legit cat. Right. Okay.
It's
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I was gonna the Jonesboro Open. Jay, some very nice.
That
news.
was Flake Champ. Yeah, it's a little bit more stable than the average star run jay, but it's pretty nice.
And the X cow is super beef.
Yeah.
That I call super beef. Some people wouldn't, but
So if you like a PD2 and you don't like how they break in, you probably just want to go ahead and get an X cow because this thing's always going to dump. It's like a better PD2.
that's what you've always said about it. Man, it has and you know it's going to dump for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably go through a water bin.
I think I'll just buy them and have you sign and put them on the wall. They're pretty.
That's good.
That's nice.
They're very nice there. So
Yeah, so those are available tomorrow.
yeah.
You know,
And available all the time, actually.
all the time.
Yeah.
You can get it live here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you're not, you can get them, I'm sure, at Innova's site still,
course,
along with their cool alien and their
Rolla.
and all the amazing discs they're putting out right now.
Old Discmania bottoms with it at the tops or something.
What do you putt with, Kat?
Mexican.
Okay.
All right.
And do you have a special one? If you lost it, would you freak out, or is it?
I'm able to hold on to putters until they break. That's what happened in my last pair last year. It's like
It seemed to break too. The classic 8.
when you use them a lot, yeah.
Mhm.
If you leave them out in the sun, you're done.
Toast.
You know, one putt is just in half.
In the cold as well, I feel like too, right?
Yeah.
It works just feels right. Did you watch the President's Cup today?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I'm actually going to stay up and watch the FPO at like 12:30 or 1:30 or whatever. Just pull like a
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man. Just pull like an little all-nighter. Sleep during the day since it's too hot to be alive. Why not?
Right?
Hey.
Who do you root for? Who do you root for when you're not on the course?
I just kind of see who's on. You know, I kind of just like study them, but also I really enjoy watching disc golf.
You're looking at it more from a competitive level of the next round, the next
Yeah.
who's hot, who's not type.
Yeah, I'm just trying to watch the field and see who's coming up. Who's coming up? Who's already been there, and who's the ones coming up? Like last week at PCS, there was a girl, 15-year-old
Oh, my God.
Ida.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eyes on her. I mean, these kids are coming out of the woodworks right now.
These kids, each one of them.
Yeah, it's
Because we're talking teams then.
yeah. Just talk little bits, but they're gonna come up because they're gonna come up the way I did. They're
For
gonna
sure.
come up the way Haley King did.
For sure.
I mean, I feel like I'm in that stage right now. Like, I don't want to sound cocky, but I feel like a lot of kids my age are like the next generation, and we're kind of just like filtering out the.
Well, I feel like you haven't even hit your prime yet, and you're just getting warmed up. And I feel like the rest of the field knows it. I think the world knows it.
I think so.
And
Well, we got 15-year-old kids from
yeah,
Europe
cat
getting ready
merch,
to
too.
come too.
we got cat merch too.
It's
The strength of field is insane.
Oh, yeah, no.
To watch that over the past 3 years has just been amazing.
Mhm.
You know, for all of those folks that got into this stuff during COVID, you know, there is an insane difference in the strength of field right now. All of you ladies are competitive. You know, Kristen's dominating. Everybody is up there.
The precedence has been set. The bar is set. Who's going to pass the ball?
Right.
Is basically the game right now. Who wants it?
Who are your buddies on tour? I know you and Deanne Carey, right?
I try to be friendly with everyone on
Right.
tour, but the person that I hang out the majority of the time is Deanne. I love Deanne. I would throat punch someone for Deanne for sure.
Yeah, I kept score for her. She was one of the nicer score. She was really nice that day. She was doing well. And that's when you do well, right? Nobody
Yeah.
ever,
She has a good time.
Yeah.
She's funny,
and
I've met her a couple of times. She's super.
quirky. This dude.
It's really fun. See it on my coverage. So,
She's my best friend, man.
right
What
on.
can I say?
Shout out Deanne Carey.
Yeah.
That's fun. What else you got?
man, I think I'm tapped. No, I can't give her real name away. She told me. So I didn't. I did not know. Of course, I didn't think your name was Kat, but
No.
I didn't know if that was a nickname or not.
It's Catherine. I just like Kat because I used to get made fun of when I was in school for my name. Which there was another girl like a couple grades ahead of me named Catherine too. It just didn't make sense. I think it was because I was from a small town.
Small town of Rosebud, who
Small
just
town,
got a course, I hear.
Yeah, little 9-hole.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I ride my scooter up there all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, there's people out there. Like every time that I went and played, there's usually like a little family out there playing. Had an older fella ask me about flight numbers. Couldn't tell him a thing. I don't know what to tell you. Dude, let's get something. Flight numbers are the most useless things in the whole game, and you don't need them to become a good player. You know, just know the speed of the disc and know yourself. You know what I mean?
I agree
And
because
they're different.
there's no standardization for that throws this. It says this is an 11 speed. Prodigy's 11 versus Innova's 11 for
It's
and
all
it's all
different.
different.
For example, Goldline Ballista from Latitude is the same numbers as a Star Colossus from Innova, and they're two completely different discs. So I don't know. Flight numbers only work if you stay in that company.
Yeah.
Like
You
if you
get used to them, and
yeah, that's the only way they work. But if
Based
you
off
got a
one
mixed
speed.
bag or you're just trying to get better, quit focusing so much on the flight numbers. Just know the speed of the disc, if anything.
Okay, thank you.
That's great advice.
It is.
There's some questions.
There's so many questions. People always come up like, what are the flight numbers? I don't know. What do you want it to be? What are you looking for? What are you looking
does it feel good in your hand? And when you throw it, does it what you expect it to do?
Mhm.
And if not, are you willing to adjust because you know what that flight's going to do?
Pretty much.
So
Like, don't go pick up this 13 speed Shrike, for instance, because it's 13 speed for a new player. You know, like for myself, that's not a good feeling disc for me because of that wide rim.
Yeah.
You know, so I need
Go
to.
get a sidewinder.
Oh, I love a side.
Hawkeye. Go do something.
do you throw a Hawkeye? You liking it?
It's a little bit less stable than stuff. It's like the first run watermelon one. They're pretty gnarly. I think with it actually.
That was the
I don't know if that one does.
She names all of it.
I think most of them.
All of the meaningful ones. She named. Yes, I've got it.
It was Juliana Corver saying she only like all of her drivers are blue and all these she didn't want to become partial to one disc. And you're sitting here naming your disc. You're like completely on the other end of it. You're like the person who names the farm animals, man. They tell you never to name a pig or a goat that you're gonna eat because
Yeah, it's not a good feel.
you know, right?
My cousins had a turkey one time. They I don't know how this happened, but they paid this farm to hold on to this turkey, and my uncle was taking the family out to see the turkey, and they got emotionally attached. They killed it and couldn't even eat it for Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
I've heard that story several times. And you know you're a farmer. You're good at that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming from her. She had a pet raccoon.
And four of them.
Four raccoons.
Like one of the first things I heard in the past. Like this girl
You brought that out to the course to show me. Like you brought it out and you like pulled it out like James, I have a raccoon, and I was like,
Flip was awesome.
get away.
Blake, what a great name too.
We had Rocky, Bunny, and Clyde. Bunny and Clyde, we had two together. They were twins. Flip was my last one.
That's funny.
I've got 4 raccoons in my. So I do urban agriculture just down the road here, actually, an hour to downtown Little Rock, and I've got 4 raccoons hanging out in my 2-acre garden. If I can catch them in the live traps, I might give you a call.
Well, how little are they?
So it is a mama and her cub. So they are.
But I can't separate them at the moment.
Yeah, I would be catching all of them. If I could. Right now, they're not messing with the livestock I have on the farm.
Yeah.
You know, they're eating some of the pears that are falling off the pear tree.
Naturally.
And it's like, you guys can have it. So, everything's got a, they're part of the ecosystem right now. So they need to continue to be. So until they,
Very intelligent animals.
highly sensitive. Their hearing's a lot more sensitive to the dogs for sure. Nah, they were just wicked. They're wicked animals. Flick was awesome.
It was cool, but I was
Dude,
a little weirded at the time. You know, I was like, what the hell? I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm not from the metropolis of like metropolitan city, don't get me wrong, but it's the capital city here in Arkansas, and I didn't grow up in the city. So pet raccoons to me are woohoo. And then she ran to the course, and I was like, and her mom's like, look, there. I'm like, what are you doing here? That's a damn, you're holding the rat. Like, it's a big, fat, huge, what the hell is this? You know? And it's
my boy.
it was, It was Flick.
And he still hangs around.
Oh man, he still hangs around the house.
Yeah,
He like ran off and then came
hit sexual maturity and they get a little aggressive.
Right,
Yeah, and
course.
now he's like it's our neighbor's garden, so as long as he's not eating ours, I think it's all right. He can hang out
Does he ever come down and like you get to hang out with Flick?
only at night, and
Only at night.
only at night. He's become full
See,
blown.
I would be weirded out. I would be like, is that Flick? Is that Flick? Or is this some rabid cousin of Flick's? Flick's rabid cousin, like the one that took my cousin. You know?
Thought Flick was so funny. Some dude posted on his Snapchat, and he's like, "I need someone to take this baby coon, or I'm going to kill it." And it's like 11:50 something on a school night.
You're like,
Something. I'm like, bring him over here, just be real quiet. So his name was Dugan Jones. Dugan drove over.
dude.
Yeah. And he's like, here it is. Have a good night. Like midnight.
I remember your mom texted
She
me.
was
It's like,
I was like, oh,
Flick ran away, and I was like, good. You know, like, baby, go with that. Go check the trash can.
not going. I was like, I was outside, and this baby raccoon came up to me, and she went, what? She popped out of bed, and she got it. She held it like this, and she looked down, and I was like, right there. Took it down to my nanny and scratched my nanny. She's like, "Ow! Get
Like,
it out!"
Right, that would have been down right thing.
bring raccoon to the porch, Tricks. Like, but
Save it.
it's his cat. This is cat's raccoon. We have to bring it in. Its name is Flick. You freaking named it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our new pet.
He was so young at that time. He's like,
You should meet him. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I came over there, bro. You know, we're good.
he still needed to be like, he was just a baby. He was your baby. Yeah. You feed him?
That's on the next episode. How to sleep like ready for the We're not ready for that. We'll put some highlights in there.
Said goodbye.
We just got a 90s PG-13 rated on this.
Yeah, look how organic this is all coming out.
Yeah, because
What a great topic.
we have nothing else to talk about. This is the end of it. So, no. Hey, this is great. That's Kat, and that's what I love about Kat, and that's what I love her out there playing, and I love watching her win and the emotion. You can tell you really enjoy it. That's a big deal. I think people see that too. At first, it's just kind of being stoic or whatever, and you're like a people's champ. I would think you're like an everyday kind of player.
Man, Robbie Shaw is the people.
Yeah.
Robbie Shaw.
Robbie Shaw, yeah. I'll make sure we tell him we gave him a hug. Yeah, he is the people's champ. He's won last weekend too.
Did he really?
Yeah, he beat Bentz and Brian Bentz.
Let's go. That makes me happy.
I bet it does. Brian's an interesting cat. So, all right. Well, that's all. I don't really have anything else. Y'all, thank you for coming. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah, thank you, Kat. Thank you, James. Love to do it again sometime.
And
Absolutely.
we can always send you a link to or anything if you got some or want to talk about to 30 people. You go right ahead and send us a link. We'll make sure they get now.
I think it's gonna grow.
I hope so. We tried this because this is like what we do. This is local and national. I mean, that's what Kat is. She's our local hero.
We'll know when HR calls us and tells us what's going on. Down there.
I love Innova.
What's this I hear about the raccoon?
Yes, because they
Yeah.
the end of it record.
Hey, I saw a cool stamp a guy did for you.
This is the recent one.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Yes. That that's pretty cool.
You did a great job.
Is that on a disc anywhere or?
I sold out.
Oh, damn! I missed
Yeah.
They don't have it over here, like in the front. There was something that was stamped up there.
Yeah, that's a full color gem. That was something that my buddy Andrew Lake did. Shea Vallis did the trailer park with, and it came up with this.
So Innova does that one.
Yeah, and it did this one, but this is pretty much my idea. The
Okay.
camera's right there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Here you go, guys. Right here.
I love it. No, I love it. And so that's your idea. It's a great little stamp.
And I wanted a warrior, you know.
You have to get it. You get an axe now. You have to have one with an axe.
Dope.
Oh, that's
And then Perks is celebrating your 1035 rating, which
Yeah.
is still, is that the highest rating of the
Yeah.
year still?
Yeah.
Yeah. So congrats on that. 1036. And
That's my highest rating so far, and for MPO last year.
right on.
It's such a huge rating.
And that's tomorrow that they're releasing all this really cool apparel that is all like N64 related.
Yeah.
You know? I love it. I love that
Releasing it
they.
in store. Some products are still available on the website. It's in recreation.com.
Yeah, it's some sick apparel.
That's it. Anything else, man?
Man, I don't have anything else. I'm just super appreciative of you and James coming on.
Yeah. Thank y'all very much.
so much.
This was good.
Nothing but love,
This was
boys.
good. We should do it again.
All right. Well,
Absolutely. Nothing.
see what you guys say, man.
Man, I don't have
I
much
don't
else to
really do the
say.
shade thing.
Shut up. I wanted it on.
Yeah, come on over there. I should.
Red and pits.
Looking at your
The
padlock.
Macho Man thing is really great. Before we leave, man, that is such a great deal because I love Macho Man.
Yeah, that is
As a wrestler. And for somebody made was it a shirt or what was somebody?
People bid so much.
God, they do. Yeah, I noticed that today. It was so good.
I love it.
So, well, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it.
Man, this has been a natural state of mind. Remember to always be kind to yourself and be kind to others.
And it takes absolutely nothing for you to do that. Nothing but peace and love, y'all. Later.
There you go.
Love you.
Boom.
That was